And here we are, we're ready for another 7 minutes on ITSP Magazine with a new short brand story. Today I'm joined by Teresa Lanowitz, Chief Evangelist at LevelBlue, the organization that simplifies securing your most valuable business assets by providing broad cybersecurity experience and award-winning services. Welcome, Teresa.
Thanks, Sean. It's so nice to be here with you.
It's always good to have you on the show and great to chat with you. And a topic that I love, we've talked about cyber and business resilience as part of your LevelBlue Futures Report. And today, just in time for the holidays, we're going to be looking at some of what challenges and opportunities the retail space has with respect to becoming cyber resilient. Give me some ideas of what you found in the research you've done that are specific to the retail space with respect to challenges that they're facing these days.
The interesting thing is that we're in a profound era of innovation across the board. Every type of industry is innovating, and that's no different in retail. And what retail organizations are really grappling with right now are attacks on the supply chain. That can be the software supply chain or the physical supply chain. Vulnerabilities coming in from working with third parties. And retailers have to make sure that they're taking these threats that are coming in through possibly attacks on the supply chain or vulnerabilities coming in from other types of software that they're bringing in from suppliers and so on. And they have to really make sure that they're able to be resilient. And that means it needs to be a whole business practice to be resilient, the entire organization, not just a cybersecurity team, because these types of threats, these types of problems ripple across the entire organization. So when something happens and that entire IT estate may not be available, other parts of the organization, in addition to the cybersecurity team, needs to step up. That includes the CIO organization, possibly finance, possibly other suppliers, and so on.
So I know that innovation in retail, these companies want to provide the most experience, the best experience possible to their customers, both online and in store. But with that, we were collecting more data, providing access to more services and things like that. And to your point, the risk increases as we build out new services and provide new offerings. What are some of the outcomes that retail organizations are trying to achieve as they're making these innovations? AI is another one that I think comes to mind often.
Well, absolutely. And you mentioned that retail organizations want to provide the best possible outcomes for their customers, whether it's online or in a physical presence. And one of the things we found out in our research is that 86% of the retail organizations that we surveyed, they said, you know what, we think that this new type of computing, this innovation that we're bringing about, think about self-checkout, the ease with which you can scan things now at checkout, the best e-tail experiences that we have. 86% said that can really help with operational efficiency and even for profitability. Let's get that word correctly. But what they also said, 83% also told us that what they're finding is that all of this innovation really increases the risk. So this is something that as an organization has to take a look at how this risk is being increased and how that cybersecurity team, who typically has lived inside of silos and has been isolated from the rest of the business, how everything they're doing to mitigate risk and to prevent the types of cyber attacks that we're concerned about, how they can actually work with the line of business and how the line of business can work cross-functionally with everybody in the organization to help achieve that real level of cyber resilience. And then you mentioned some of the other types of technologies, new technologies such as AI coming on the scene. And AI is something that everybody is thinking about, everybody's concerned with right now. And what we found out in our research, that from a cybersecurity perspective, organizations are saying, we're taking a look at AI, but we're doing it in a very methodical way. And one of the nice things that we're seeing with AI in general is that organizations are not afraid to embrace the technology. They're bringing it in experimental ways. And from a cybersecurity perspective, that's no different. We're looking at things such as machine learning to be able to take massive amounts of data and do pattern matching, things such as neural networks and deep learning to be able to do predictive types of analysis. So the idea of AI coming in, especially in retail, is very attractive. And that's what our survey participants told us as well.
And of course, there are a number of drivers to to lead us to resiliency. I think, what is it, 74% noted that regulation and compliance is a key driver there. But regardless of the driver, what are you seeing are some of the paths retailers are taking to actually achieve what matters most to them, be it compliance or a good security posture for the business?
Absolutely. To achieve cyber resilience, what we see retailers doing is one, understanding the barriers, looking at across the organization, understanding what barriers exist. Two, being secure by design, making sure that they're building security in from the very beginning, from the time of development, from the time of requirements, from the time of setting strategy. So being secure by design. They're also bringing in trusted third-party advisors to help them along the way. So building out that ecosystem, extending their team. And what they're doing is they're saying, we're looking at our cybersecurity strategy and we're making sure that our cybersecurity goals are aligned with those critical few business objectives that the line of business is telling us about. So it's not just a cybersecurity team sitting in isolation, and that's how you really make cyber resilience that whole organizational issue. And then the last thing that we're seeing is that cybersecurity teams are really changing up their strategy, wanting to be more a part of this ongoing conversation across the organization about cyber resilience.
And it is what's for the business, so the business should take part at every level, and that's true for retail, but across all the sectors, I believe, generally speaking as well. Which you've done some incredible research with the Futures Report. So of course we'll include a link to the retail edition of that report that we discussed here, as well as the broader research report, and links to connect with you and the LevelBlue team. And I want to thank you, Teresa, for this chat. And that's 7 minutes here on ITSP Magazine.
Thanks so much, John. Hope to see you again soon.
Absolutely.